back and share my screen. All right, so can you guys see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. All right, so first of all,
Yes,
bear
sir.
with me since I currently having a slight fever. I don't know if it's a slight fever or just a stuffy nose and a little bit of sore throat. Okay, so hopefully it's not a whatever you're thinking COVID. So yeah. All right, so let's go over now to the home page. So I hope you guys have already saw everything. You guys have already checked everything. So I'll just go over to the important part of the home page, which is the course overview. So this course focuses on the principles of layout of electricals, electronics, and logic drawings, stressing modern representation used for block diagram, wiring or assembly, then drawings, printed circuit board layouts, and then etching. Okay, so I'll just make it as clear as early as of now. Now, if ever that the face-to-face, limited face-to-face will be canceled this sem, so these are the topics that you will miss. Okay, the printed circuit board layout, and then of course the etching. So you won't be able to do this one if we are not going to have a face-to-face class with this one. Unless you're really willing to do that one, well, it's optional, so you can do that one, of course. I actually recommend you to do that one since this is the most exciting part of this course, doing uh, your own PCB layout, designing your own PCB, etching that one with your own hands. Okay, like experiencing that one in real life or in real world is completely different just by looking at PCB on the internet or just a picture. Okay, though this one is still 50-50. Okay, so just in case that we will have the limited face-to-face now on this coming February, so there is no final date yet. So yeah, and I will require you guys to have this final project. Okay, so the reason why this one will be only implemented if we're going to have a limited face-to-face, that's because I will group you guys into 5 or 6. So 6 people will create one project or one PCB design. Okay, so it would be super expensive if I will require you guys individually. Okay, just by buying the driller, the PCB, the wirings, the resistors, capacitors, and then the VOM, and then the soldering iron. So it will reach you, a minimum of 500, maybe 1,000 peso, 1,000 peso to 2,000 pesos. So that depends on the project that you are going to make. Okay. So are we clear so far regarding with this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we have 3 CLO for this one. So identify electronic symbols and components and use them in preparing schematic diagrams. And also create schematic diagrams and PCB layout using a software, which is the EagleCAD. And then fabricate printed circuit boards using alternative methods. So again, this one is 50-50, not yet sure. Okay, so again, there is no available ebook yet, so I'll just update this one later on. So let's go over now your syllabus. So I won't be reading everything anymore. So this is a 1 unit lab, 4 hours lab per week. And then here are the course content. So we have from week 1 to week 12, well actually week 1 to week 13. Okay, but the week 6.5 will be, used for your midterm exam, and then the week 13 will be used for your final exam. So that is why you only have like a total of 12 weeks for the discussion part. Okay, so as usual, week 1 was already consumed. So again, I apologize for not being able to meet you guys last week since I'm the one handy or catering the CP enrollment. Okay. So yeah, anyway, we'll just deal with remaining week and then still going to finish the two topics. Okay, two topics which is the block diagrams and then the flow charts. Okay, so we have two modules under this week 1 and week 2. And then here are the topics that we're going to discuss. And then week 3 and 4 will be introduction to electronics. Well, actually, we can finish this one in just 1 week, so we'll see. But yeah, and then we have 4 weeks for your supposedly, if this is a limited face-to-face, you're going to have, of course, a hand sketch schematic diagram. Okay, and then we're going to have a schematic diagram, which is the official one that you're going to create with the use of a software or a tool. Okay, and then we have a lot of topics under this week 5 to week 8, and then week 9 to week 10 will be spent, learning the circuit layout software, which is the Eagle Guide. Okay, how to do some wiring, how to do some cabling, how to do some routing, and so on and so forth. And then lastly, let's just say that the remaining 2 weeks is for the finalizing your PCB. So again, this week 11 and 12 is still optional. So this one is 50-50. If again we're going to have face-to-face, then this will be followed. But if we're not going to have the face-to-face, it's still ODL, then I will not require you guys to do this one anymore. So we will just go, or yeah, we will just finish the PCB designing, okay, but not PCB fabrication, just designing the PCB with the use of the software. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the topics under CPE drop. So are we clear so far? Are you guys able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just let me know if I'm too fast or you guys want me to clarify a certain topic. Anyway, that's it for the syllabus. Let's go over now your modules. So again, as usual, to those who haven't submitted your 1 minute video yet, so please submit them now. Today is the due date. Okay, so I would like to know more about you guys on what are the things that I need to change. Maybe I need to improve. Okay, yeah, for improvement, for my self-improvement in teaching. All right, so next thing is please do take note on your examination schedule. So your midterm exam will be on February 19th. So still a month from now, 1 month and 4 days. And then your final exam will be on April 8th. All right, so if I'm not mistaken, let me just check this one. Let's see. Anyway, I thought I didn't require them to have a final project, but it seems that I require them to do the well, you guys have already saw your final exam instruction. Let's just read it. So yeah, you'll be needing the block diagram, flowchart, and then the breadboard layout, and then schematic diagram, and then the board layout of it with the use of EagleCAD. So this one is with the use of FreeSync, and then this one is with the use of EagleCAD. So PCB designing. So I thought I just required them to submit their PCB design, but no, it's a complete representation of their system. Okay, so we have the flowchart, the black diagram, and then the breadboard layout, and then the schematic diagram with the use of EagleCAD. Anyway, so para naging bonus nyo na to, since nalaman nyo na agad yung final exam nyo. But yeah, just to to prepare you guys on your final exam. Anyway, so yeah, just take note on those dates. Next will be the week 1 and week 2. So as I mentioned a while ago, we're going to have 2 modules under this week 1 and 2. So we have the block diagram and then the flowchart. So you will see here the topic learning outcomes, the list of topics that we're going to discuss, and then this one is not updated, so I have to update this one. So again, there is 2 modules, module 1, block diagram, and then module 2, which is the flowchart. And then we have some video materials which came from YouTube, of course. So just check them out, in order for you to learn more about black diagrams, and flowcharts. Okay, and then we have 3D materials, so feel free to check them out also if you need more information. And then here are some references of my PowerPoint presentation. So are we good so far for the overview of the week one? So one should be week one and week two. So I'll update this one later on. So just let me know if ever that you guys have a question, okay? Oops. And my bad. So I wasn't able to remove this one because all of the Zoom link is now under this link synchronous sessions. All right, so moving on to the watch videos. So as usual, in order for us to save time, okay, so what I did is I compiled the previous Zoom meeting of my previous class on CPE drop. So just check this one out. So this is a 40-minute video discussing about the module one, about the black diagram. And then the second one is, of course, discussing about the future. Okay, so this one is complete from start to end. Okay, so we were able to finish the black diagram completely. However, under the flow chart, so as you can see from 0, 0 from the start. So from the start, we are already at slide 17. So I think I wasn't able to click the record button before last year. So that is why I wasn't able to uh, compile it on the flowchart also. So what we'll do is we will discuss the slide 1 to slide 16 right now, okay, today, so that you'll be able to understand once you've watched the video on this flowchart. So you won't get shocked. Why is it at the slide 17 already? Why didn't started at slide 1? Okay. So will that be okay to you guys? We're going to have a short discussion. So this may be 5 to 10 minutes. What about the others? Any response? So I'm giving you guys an option since to those who have already checked the PowerPoint or the PDF of the module 2 flowchart. So they are very straightforward. Well, all you need to do is apply your common sense actually. Okay, so that is why I'm giving you guys an option. But anyway, so let's discuss this one real quick. So what is a flow chart? To make it short, it's the flow of data that's happening on your system. Okay, so whatever is that system or project that you're creating, of course, it has a start, how to start with it. Okay, what will happen if you go with this one, and then how will it end? Okay, so it's a flow of data within that system or a sequence that will happen in that sequence. Okay, so another definition is a flowchart is a diagrammatic representation that illustrates the sequence. So just like what I mentioned a while ago. So it could be a flow of data or a sequence of data. Okay. Next, so when to make a flowchart? Okay, so flowcharts are generally drawn in early stages of formulating computer solutions. So flowcharts facilitate communication between programmers and business people. Now, to make it simple, you only create flowchart not for you, okay, but for the others. Enable for them to understand what you're doing or what you want to happen in your system. So, for example, you're going to sell your project or your product soon. So you need a flowchart for them to be able to understand what's really happening on your system. Okay. So for business people, and then of course logarithm. If you want to discuss your program to the other programmers and what you wanted to do upon clicking this button, upon initiating this feature, okay, or a program, and so on and so forth. Okay. Next, what is the role of flowcharts? So flowcharts play a vital role in programming of a problem and are quite helpful in understanding the logic of complicated and lengthy problems. So this one is super helpful, especially if you have complicated and lengthy problems. Okay, especially in your, let's say, project design or thesis. If you're going to propose a project, or if you're going to convince others that this is how your project works and that feature is really needed. So yeah, you need a flowchart in order for them to understand, and then in order for you to convince them that that feature of your project is really necessary. Okay, is or it's really important to have in your system. Okay. Hence, it is correct to say that the flowchart is a must for the better documentation of a complex program. So can you guys follow up to this point? Hello? Am I too fast? Is everything clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just let me know if you guys have a question, okay? And this is the the simple representation of the flowchart. So we have here an alarm clock. Let's say the alarm clock in our cell phones. So you've set a certain time, and then it already rings. So the alarm rings. So what will happen? So you have two options, of course. So are you ready to get up? So you will click the stop. Okay, and if you're not yet ready, then you hit the snooze button, and then it will wait for 5 minutes before it will ring again, and then it will just loop for 3 times. Okay, and then if the third time you still said no, then some alarm clocks will not wake you up anymore. Okay, so some have a maximum loop of three only, and some is infinite. Okay, as long as you're hitting the snooze button, then it will keep on ringing after 5 minutes. But once you're ready, then just click yes or the stop button, and then you finally climb out of bed, and then that's it. So it already served its purpose, or this feature of the alarm clock. Okay, as simple as that. So I would like you guys to take a look on the shapes that we have used. So we have circle for the start and end. So sometimes this one is oblong, okay, not a perfect circle. So they're okay, oblong or circle. So as long as it has a label, so both of them are understandable. Let's start and then the end of your program or of your project. And then square for the processes. Okay, this one is process, this one is process, this one is a process. And then diamond for a decision. Okay, so sometimes it could have up to 3 decisions. So if you need more, maybe 4 outputs, then that's also possible. Okay. Anyway, so moving on, we have here some guidelines for drawing a flowchart. So we use a lot, we can use a lot of shapes. So if you really need that, let's see, certain shape in order for the customer to understand what you wanted to say or what you're trying to say on that flow of data, then feel free to do so. However, okay, those are the most, or these are the most common symbols that's being used in flowchart. So we have the terminator or the start. We have the decision, the process, document, multiple documents, data storage, internal storage, tape data, database, input or output, and display, and so on and so forth. Okay, so just check them out later on. If you need to memorize them, then that's also okay, but don't need to memorize them, okay, since we are up in notes. And then shapes are not necessary. Okay, so it is not strictly necessary to use boxes, circle, and so on and so forth. Okay, but of course, this will help others to understand what you're trying to describe, what you're trying to say on your flow of data. Okay. Number one, in drawing, these are some design guidelines. So number one, your flow chart must be in a logical order. Number two, it should be clear, neat, easy to follow, of course. Number three, the only representation of a flow chart is from left to right, or you can have the top to bottom. So just those two. Don't do the other way around. So there is no flow data wherein you're coming from right and then going to left. So that is not a good doing. So mostly we start from left to right or top to bottom. Right. Number 4, only one flow line should come out from a processing mode. Okay, so this one is to avoid confusion. If you're going to have two flow of line that will go out into something that is only on the decision. Okay, but on the process mostly, there's only one line that is flowing out. Okay, also one flow line should enter a decision symbol. Okay, so we can have as many output. Okay, for that one, we can have 2, we can have 3 or 4. Okay, but there should be only one line that will enter the decision, right? To avoid confusion, of course. Number 6, write within standard flowchart symbols briefly. Okay, as necessary, you can use the annotation symbol to describe data or computational steps more clearly as much as possible. Use one word only, use one letter, two letter, okay, or 2 words or 3 words if it's really necessary. But never ever put a sentence, okay, or even a paragraph. Okay, that's not a good doing. All right, so just a brief annotation as much as possible. And then number 7, connector symbols must be used to reduce the number of flow lines. So what do you mean by connector symbols? So for example, you have a very lengthy, say you have a very large project wherein, of course, you're going to create a flow chart, but in this bond paper, the flow data is like you need more space down below. Okay, so you can use a connector. Call this one connector symbols. This circle right here, so you can label it any variable name that you want to see, A, B, C, X, Y, and then where is this one connected? So you just put here A also, or the same variable name that you have used here. Okay, so that only means that this one will go directly to this next process, just to avoid interconnection of your line, or just to make it more neater. Okay, para. So are we clear so far regarding with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Am I
sir.
too fast? Are you guys able to follow? Any question or clarification so far?
Okay naman, sir.
So that's actually it from slide 1 to slide 17, and then the rest is already here. So we've discussed the rest for 14 minutes. Yeah, that's already the end of presentation. So 1 minute, 0 to 15 minutes. Okay, and let's now move on. Where is the module part? Okay, so let's now move on to your laboratories. Okay, so we have 4 laboratories in total, and then 1 activity, let's see, 1 sick work or 1 additional activity, and then 2 case studies. So let's go over to the lab first. So lab number 1 to lab number 4. All right. So lab number 1 and lab number 2. So you're going to create a block diagram. 3 and 4, you're going to create a flowchart. Okay. So lab number 1 and lab number 2 are both traditional enrollment system. Lab number 2 and lab number 4 are also both, but instead of traditional, this one is now online enrollment system. So what I would like you guys to do is, create a step-by-step block diagram of traditional enrollment system of UC. Okay, so you can use any tools or software that is available to create a block diagram. So you can use Microsoft Word, since all of the shapes are already in there. So yeah, or if you have a certain software wherein that is what you're using when it comes to creating a block diagram or a flowchart, then feel free to use that one also. Okay, so there is no limitation. Uh, so is Mr. Gene Alexis? Yeah, so it's okay, Mr. Gene Alexis. So you can just watch the recorded Zoom meeting later on if ever that you've missed something. Okay. And then, yeah, the same thing with the flow chart. So you're going to create a traditional enrollment and then an online enrollment, but this time it's now a flow chart. Okay. So are we clear so far regarding with your lab number 1 to lab number 4? Hello? Are you guys still around? I hope you guys
Okay
have
lang po,
already
sir.
checked this one out.
Yes, sir.
Good,
Clear.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So to those who wasn't able to experience, the traditional way of enrolling in UC, so you might want to ask your classmates who have experience enrolling in UC in traditional way or in face to face. Okay. So of course for online enrollment, so you guys already know the process since all of you are enrolling in UC every term. So I guess there is no problem anymore in this online enrollment. So only the traditional enrollment. So especially Mr. Angelo Shador. So I think he wasn't able to experience the traditional way. But yeah, you can ask your classmates. So please, guys, help Mr. Angelo. So just talk to him. Just share to him the things that you need to do. When it comes to enrolling in UC. Way back 2 years ago or 3 years ago. All right. Okay. So last but not the least is or are the case studies. So others, since we have two case studies. So as usual, you'll be given the facts and then a question. So all you need to do is read this one and then read the question and then share your own opinion or what can you say regarding with this one and then just convince me that your answer is really correct. Okay. So as long as you're able to persuade me, then I'll give you a 20 points. So there is no incorrect answer regarding this one. Okay. So of course you can always visit the internet. You can always ask Mr. Google. Okay, but I would like you guys to explain that one in your own words. Okay, not just by simply copy and then pasting your answer. Okay, so yeah, are we clear so far? One more thing is the activity number 1. So here using flowchart, display a series of numbers in which each number, Fibonacci number, is the sum of the two preceding numbers. So display the following sequence of number, okay, using a flowchart. All right. So Fibonacci sequence, and then submit it as a file upload. So you can do it on Microsoft. What else? I guess that's it. Yeah, that's all for now. And then as usual, you guys have 2 weeks instead of 1 week. So you now have 2 weeks since this one now is a full term course. So any question or clarification so far?
None so far, sir.
All right, so before we end our meeting, could you guys please open your camera so I can see your latest faces? So not just your profile picture. So para naman parang hindi lang pangalan. Kilala ko rin kayo by face. What about the others? And all right, so thank you for those who have opened your cameras. Mr. Angelo Shador. So say hi to your classmates. Okay, so siya yung bagong transferee ng CPE.
Sir, wala po akong camera. Ginamit po ni ating ko.
Yeah. So,
Yes, sir. Wala akong camera yun, sir. Sinasama po, sir.
Syllabus pa yata.
Walang rason.
Alright. So,
Sa bukid kami, sir.
ano yun? Okay. So thank you. Again, as always, thank you guys for coming. I really, really appreciate it. So this week, my next announcement. If we are going to meet on this coming January, ano ba? 22, not 21. Okay. All right. So goodbye and yeah, a blessed day to all of you guys. So if ever you have questions, so just message me. Okay.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you,
Bye,
sir.
Bye, sir.
Goodbye.